media. It has been so long, and as you can see by the title of this video is way long overdue. I should have filmed this video for you guys like 2 months ago, but I feel like it's great to kind of tie it all in together. So yeah, you guys, for those of you guys who are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. My goal is to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the semester, and we're like at almost 3,000 now, so that is a huge goal, but we can do it. So please share this video, like this video, comment on this video, send it to your friends, your mom, your grandma, your auntie. If they don't have YouTubes, tell them to sign in with their Gmail accounts. If they don't have Gmail accounts, tell them to step into the 21st century, and we can just get this thing popping, y'all, because 10,000, we can definitely do that. So it's a team effort. I need y'all support. I need y'all to help me out, and we will do that. And I will continue to deliver really good content to you guys. Now that I'll go into like what I'm up to, but my goal is to really film more sit down videos for you guys in addition to vlogs. So if you guys want to see content, I need some views. I need you guys to share these videos, and it will all be grand. So this video, I feel like, has the potential to be very lengthy, so I'm really going to try to refrain from having this video be too long. But I did get a lot of questions, and these are really good questions that I feel like can benefit a lot of people, so I want to be sure that I answer all of them. Okay, so the way this video is going to go is, first I'm just going to let you guys know how my first year of law school went. And then from there, I'm going to just go into some brief advice that I have for you guys who are going into your first year of law school. I can't give you guys any business school advice because I haven't started that yet, but I'm also going to tell you guys about the process of becoming a dual student and what to expect from the channel and what I'll be doing next with that. And then I'll also just go into the questions that you guys have asked me. So first, and also what I've done this summer. So it's kind of like a lot. So let's just jump into it. So what have I been up to? So I finished my first year of law school. For those of you guys who have been watching the past few vlogs, you guys see the end of the semester was so freaking rough, you guys. It was so much. My exams, a lot of them were like the professor pulled a rabbit out of their hat. Like, what? Like, it was just like a lot of unexpected things that took place with my finals. So yeah, there's that. But I finished the first year of law school. I did really well. I finished with just above a 3.5, which is way better than I ever could have dreamed for someone with no background in law, who came from a background in mass communications and marketing. It was so new to me. You guys all see it on this channel. So my goal is to make sure that you guys all finish your first year with the 4.0 and do different things that I didn't do. The silly mistakes I made, I don't want y'all to have to make those. Some of the hardships are just inevitable because it's law school. Like, it's hard, but it's doable with the positive mindset, and you guys have seen that from my channel. It's all about your outlook on life. It's going to be a challenge, but nothing worth having comes easy. I say that to you guys all the time. So I just really want to make sure that I can give you guys the advice to do well in law school. And I may have a separate video like how to get A's in law school, or how to be the top of your class in law school, things like that. So if you guys want to see something like that, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will be sure to deliver that for you, or also just leave me a comment and I will do that for you guys. So I finished with above 3.5, and you know, I am just thankful. I really don't think that it's because I'm smart. I think it's because I tried really hard, I worked really hard, and I just kept a positive outlook. So yes, for those of you guys who follow me on social media, if you don't, please follow me. My handles are below. I spend a lot more time on Instagram these days, but I also have a Snapchat. Follow me below. Here are my stuff. Please follow. Like some pictures if you want. If you have any questions, it's always very fast to just DM me. I can get back to you a lot quicker than I usually do with emails. So social media is our friend. It keeps us connected and lets us know what's going on with each other. So follow me. But for those of you guys who do follow me on Instagram, you see that I posted that I have been accepted into the dual JD MBA program. And for those of you guys who have been with me for a while on this channel, you know that I was really interested in doing this dual program. I've always been far more interested in business than I have been in law. So I'm so excited about this program. For those of you guys who are looking into dual programs, let me know, because there are so many different dual programs out there now. Like, there's like masters in public health. There are like so many different master's programs in addition to a JD. So if you guys know of any, or you're interested in some, let me know. But I'm so excited about this program. So just the way it works, it's much different than a lot of universities do. So the way it works is I finished my first year of law school, and now I have to do my first year of business school, and then from there a lot of my classes will satisfy both requirements. So for those of you guys who don't know, I know a lot of you guys are not from America, but here in the States, it takes 3 years to complete your JD. So with this program, it's either 3.5 years if I take summer classes, or it will be 4 years if I don't take summer classes. So it's not much longer for me to come out with 2 degrees. So the vlog will be a bit different now because I'll be at the business school. They're on 2 separate campuses. However, because I am super involved at the law school, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm the president for the Black Law Student Association. I'm also a student ambassador, and I'm also a 2L rep for the Student Bar Association, and I also do Barbary representative. So I will be at the law school every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will be at the business school every Monday and Wednesday. So the vlog will just be all over the place, like me going back and forth and like just my involvement on both campuses. But I think it'll be interesting because I do know, like from the feedback I got from you guys, there are a lot of you guys who are interested in a dual program, and also there might be some of you guys who might just be interested in business school. So it'll be great to just see both sides. So that's what's going on with me. Next is my summer job. I'm going to do a completely separate video on landing a summer job, whether you're in high school looking for a summer internship, or you're in college, or you're in law school. But my summer job, for those of you guys who don't know, I had my dream job at HBO, and it was literally the job of my dreams. Unfortunately, I did not vlog all summer, and let me tell you guys why, so y'all don't just think that I'm just like whack. Like, how crazy would I look walking around HBO with a vlog camera? Like, hey y'all, it's me, I'm a vlogger, I'm here at HBO. Like, HBO is a very prestigious company in the entertainment industry. I'm working with a lot of attorneys and a lot of like upper level executives. So it just was not about to be a good look. Like, I snuck in some pictures like on Snapchat and Instagram. But you guys, like, I could not make that happen for you guys. I am so sorry. Like, it just wouldn't have been, it would be my last time ever working for HBO, and I did not want that. I wanted to keep those connections, so I couldn't vlog, but it was a really good experience. So in my next video about jobs, I will tell you guys a lot more about that. But just in brief, I didn't necessarily get the job through my school. The newsletter from the Black Law Student Association, BLSA, they said that there was an opening, so I applied through there. Like I told you guys in my vlog, it specifically said like they were looking for 3 L's or 2 L's, and that was like iffy, but I applied anyway and I got the job. So I'm gonna definitely tell you guys in that video how to craft your resumes to make you look like a more appealing candidate, and things like that, because I really think that your resume will really help get you through the door to a lot of those places. And also, I had no connections at HBO. Most people will tell you in the entertainment industry, you need a connect. If you're going to get a job as a 1L in entertainment, you need a connect. I knew nobody at HBO. I know people now. So if any of you guys need a connect, let me know. But I had no connections whatsoever. So it was really just the crafting of my resume and really gearing it towards that market, and I got the job, and I'm still stunned by it. I'm still thinking they made a mistake, but I'm not gonna ask them about it. So yeah, y'all, I'm really happy with the experience. I met so many good people. So in the job video, I'll definitely tell you guys about like how to network while you're at a job, whatever the year you're in, because I did have an internship in the entertainment industry my junior year of college, and I did terrible there, so I can tell you what not to do, and I can tell you what to do, because I have experienced it all. So I'm really excited to film that video for you guys. If y'all want to see that, like this video, thumbs up, leave a comment, and I'll be sure to get that out for you guys. But that really covers like what I've been up to. I'll be doing the dual program. I just finished a job with HBO. And now I'm about to be trying to film so much content and be a lot more consistent on YouTube for you guys, and also being a student, a dual enrolled student. So that's really what I've been up to. Not a lot, but I can get into it a little bit more, because I did get quite a few personal questions that I'll be able to answer for you guys. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to go to is just advice. I also want to do a separate video that I told you guys about getting A's in law school, or how to do well in law school, but this is just some brief advice to kind of like get you guys over that hump, because I know some of you guys are about to start law school. Good for you. Please, if you need any advice, any guidance, what have you, please reach out to me, because y'all know I know. I was just there like last week is what it feels like. So please let me know. But my advice is, in law school, your grade is essentially based off of one exam. So What that means is you need to spend your entire semester planning for that exam. So the one thing I can tell you guys for sure is to start early. I would say within the first month of school, you should start outlining. So for those of you guys who don't know, and I can do a separate video on outlining for you guys if you guys want to see that. Once again, leave a comment below, or you can like this video and I will take that as an indication that you guys want to see it. But I can do a separate video on outlining because for me, it was a challenge to figure out what it meant to outline. Like, it just didn't come naturally to me. I didn't come from a background that required outlining, so it was really different for me. But I would just say start early. After the first month, that's when you should start crafting your outline. A lot of your classmates will wait until the reading period, which is like the few weeks before exams or people are really heavily studying. During the reading period, you guys, that is a time where you should just be reviewing because you've been studying all year long. That's what separates you from the B students, and that's what gets you into that A bracket. So what I would say is start early. After the first month, each section that your professor covers, you want to outline that right after they go over it, and you want to memorize continuously. So say you are in torts and you guys just went over duty. So you want to, your professor just finished duty, you want to memorize all of duty. Like, you want to continuously memorize that. So you want to outline duty. So then you guys go into breach. So once you finish breach, you want to put breach into your outline and you want to memorize duty and memorize breach. You want to continuously go back to what you've already covered and then just add additional knowledge. And that's how you stay ahead of the curve. That is my secret to you guys. Don't share it with your classmates. If they don't subscribe to this channel, they don't need to know. If you're a subscriber, then this is a little tea for you guys. To stay ahead of the curve, you are memorizing all semester. That way, during the reading period, when everybody's trying to cram in freaking 16 weeks of material into their head, you already know it because you've been studying it. Staying ahead and starting early is one of the major keys to success in law school. Also, work smarter, not harder. There's going to come a time where it's just nearly impossible to complete all of your readings efficiently, as well as making case briefs. Like, it's just not going to be practical. So really look into methods to keep you still in the loop of what's going on in class. Some of the beneficial things to do is look to upperclassmen in your course who are at your institution, who have taken the course that you're in with the same professor. That's the key. It has to be the same professor because, believe it or not, some professors just teach the law differently. It can be the same subject matter, but they just teach it a bit differently. So you want to be sure that it's a student who has had the professor that you have had. And you can look and use their old outlines and just kind of like follow through with the pace that you're at in your actual course. And that's just a really good way to kind of just compensate if you just don't have the time to thoroughly do the reading. But don't ever put off the reading. I'll also, in the video like of how to do well, I'll just go into like reading ahead. I did not read ahead, and that's one of the mistakes that I did make. And I found that the students who did read ahead, it really did save them a lot of hassle because they were able to read on the weekend and they were able to, like, during the week study like their outlines and, like, you know, just stay ahead and stay current with the material. So that's something that I would suggest that you guys do as well. Do what works for you. Some of you guys have asked me about study groups or studying independently. In undergrad, I was all about group work. I was in marketing and mass communication, so that did require a lot of working in groups. But once it came to law school, not only is law school kind of like a competitive environment, thankfully my school is not as competitive, but there's still some competitiveness. But I just found that I worked a lot better on my own. I also had a few different study groups that you guys would see in the vlog, like different people I would study with. Like, I would study with my friend Trevor, sometimes I would study with Lauren, but I was just very selective because knowledge is power in law school, and sometimes you learn little things from upperclassmen or just from, you know, like reading in depth, and you don't really want to share that information. I don't know, it can be really shady in law school, so if you're not used to shady, I don't know, take a year off and like work on your shadiness, watch some reality TV. Just kidding. You don't have to be a shady person at all. It's not a requirement. It's not a prerequisite. But just know that a lot of people, some people might not want to see you do well. Sometimes people are very competitive. But that's just also another thing I want to get into in a separate video. Just because it's a competitive environment doesn't mean that it's a place where it doesn't mean that you can't make connections with people and you can't network. A lot of people just get so into the law school competitiveness that they've like seen on TV, so they just start to be a complete weirdo and just start to be really hostile, and it's just like hard, fast, no. That's not what we're about. Like, we're about positivity, we're about connecting with people, we're about networking. So do not be that weirdo who's like acting super strange and like wanted to withhold information or just be a freaking creep. Like, no, we don't like that. But also know that sometimes it's better to keep things to yourself. It's not saying that you're shady or you're shifty. It's just saying that it's sometimes better to work on your own. Also, people learn things at different pace. I found that some people just looked at the subject matter a lot differently than I did. So when I would study with them, I would be so freaking confused. Like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, that's not what it is. And it would just be like, I would just get so irritated with studying with them. So I just did a lot better on my own. But please do what works for you. I've seen people have really successful study groups and all of them did well. And I've also seen people who have had study groups and one of them got like the highest grade in the class while the others got like the lowest grades in the class. So like I'm telling you, sometimes it can be very shifty. So just be sure that if you are in a study group, it's with people who you can trust and you guys are all being honest and open about the material that you guys are contributing, and it's not any weird shiftiness, because we don't have time for that. Not in law school, it's stressful enough. So it just depends on your style. To do well in law school, practice exams are essential. This will be in my exam video, no doubt, because this is another one of the major keys. A lot of professors will put out their past exams, and if your professor put out their past exams and you did not do one of them, you might be insane. This is a way to really gauge how your professor tests the material, and a lot of professors are really nice enough to even look at some of your model answers. So if your professor was one of those people who have put out past exams, or they do in the future, please be sure to do those, because that is one of the major ways that you can be successful on law school exams. And then lastly, the last piece of advice that I have is just, once again, be careful who you take advice from. You guys seen, like in one of my blogs before, like sometimes people are a little bit intimidated if they see that you're always in the library, so they'll tell you like, girl, you should go home. And I'm like, no, girl, you need to go home and you need to get out of my face, because I'm studying. Like, you just have to just be very cognizant, because people will try it sometimes, and you just have to kind of just be above it and just do what's working for you. A lot of people just, you don't want advice from somebody who's in a position that you would never want to be in. So you just take advice from people who have been there or who can really contribute to you, not somebody who's just giving you like advice that you don't need. Like, we don't need unsolicited advice. No thank you. Thanks, no thanks. No thanks. So just be careful about that. So that covers my advice. Obviously, the video for how to do well in law school will go a lot more in depth about just how to do well. But that's just enough to kind of get you over that hump and to just know like what your goals and what your focus should be on. Next, I'm going to go into the questions, and y'all, there are like 20 questions, so I'm going to really try to just be brief with the answers for some of them, because some of them don't require a lot. But I got a mix of personal questions as well as academic questions, which is good, because this channel, I'm tailoring it more towards not only law school, but also law school, business school, and more lifestyle things like advice videos, like my different routine videos and all of that. So I'm really happy to get the personal questions as well, because it really helps me shift the channel to really be able to target more people. I told y'all 10,000 subscribers by the end of the semester. If y'all can help me reach that goal, I will love y'all forever, and we will just be so lit on this channel. We'll be best friends. I'll always provide content for you guys. Anything you guys want to see, it'll just be amazing. So share, comment, like, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. And yeah, we're gonna just get to 10,000. I believe in us. We're at almost 3,000. Like, I believe that if I'm constantly delivering content and you guys are liking the content and you're willing to share, we can truly get to 10,000 by the end of my first semester of business school, which will be in like December. So by December, 10,000, like, that's nothing, right? We can do that. We can do that. So the questions. My first one is, do law schools look at volunteer work and extracurriculars, or do they care more about the LSAT scores and cumulative GPA? I hate it, because y'all know me. I have no choice but to keep it 1,000 with you guys. I'm going to keep it real, because that's the only way I know how. There's no reason for me to sit up here and waste my time lying to y'all. Like, for what? Like, we have stuff to do. Like, why lie? So they look at the LSAT score and the cumulative GPA, and unfortunately, they look at the LSAT score a lot more than the cumulative GPA. If law schools were just looking at the cumulative GPA, ladies and gentlemen, I would be at Harvard right now, maybe Stanford. The LSAT score is important, and that is why I'm telling you guys, for those of you guys who are in college now preparing for the LSAT, please take this seriously and grind it out. Yes, it is a lot. Yes, it is annoying. Yes, it is overwhelming. Yes, it is time consuming, but it will set you over the edge. It will truly, truly put you in the place that you want to be. I have almost 3.8. My LSAT score was, it was above average, but it was in no way, shape, or form a 165. If I would have got a 165, I would have been out of here. I wouldn't even be blogging. I would be probably somewhere on a beach vacationing, and then going to Harvard for the fall, and then just chilling. But no, I did not get a 160. I was close, kinda, but not really. So, ladies and gentlemen, the LSAT score is the most important thing. While it is really important to do well on your extracurricular activities, because look at it this way: if there are two students and they both got a 165 and they both have a 3.5 GPA, and one of them is the president of their sorority, and they do community service every week, and they are on the intramural basketball team, and they are doing this and they work for this and they do that, and the other person volunteer once their freshman year, who are they going to choose? So sometimes it really will set you apart from your competitors, but it's not the end-all be-all. It's really your LSAT score. So please, if you didn't have a stellar LSAT score, extracurriculars will put you over that level, because I was extremely involved. I was extremely involved in undergrad. And I had a very high GPA, so I feel like that really helped me get a scholarship for law school, and it really helped me get into law school, because I was going to get into law school anyway, because I had a good LSAT score, but I didn't have the best LSAT score. I didn't have a top LSAT score. So had I had that, I would have been like full ride to like Harvard. So the LSAT score is really important, but please do not discredit the extracurriculars, because they're very important as well. They're just not as important, but they can set you apart and they can get you some money. So still get involved, please. It shows that you are able to balance a lot of things, so it's really a good way to set yourself apart. Did I get any scholarships? I just covered that. Yes. Who wrote my letters of recommendation? Okay, I had like 5 different letters of recommendations, and I suggest that you have people who can really attest to who you are as a person. One person who I had write my letters of recommendation was my employer. I was a resident assistant in undergrad, so she was the the resident advisor at my institution. So she was one of the people who wrote my letter. I also had the dean of students at my undergrad. I was in student government association, and the dean of students was our advisor. So I was able to swing that, and that was lit. So if you have some connections in your institution, please get those people to write you those recommendations. That's another way that getting involved can really help you get those people who can really give you those really great letters of recommendation. I also had my sorority advisor's sister, who's like a really powerful attorney in the Virginia area. She's also my sorority sister. She wrote me a letter of recommendation, and then I had one of my professors. So was that 4? I think it was 4. One of my professors that I got a really good grade in, a really good writing grade, because what they say is you want someone who can attest to your writing skills. You want someone who can attest to your leadership skills. So my professor it was a writing intensive course, so she was able to attest to how I was as a writer, and all of the others were able to attest to how I can balance my academics and other additional things in my life, and how I can lead. So it's really important to have a wide array of people who can write your recommendations. Sorry, my phone locked. Next one. Internship suggestions for a senior going into law school in the fall of 2018. So, internship suggestions, I will definitely go more into this in the other video that I plan on recording for you guys. But if you're an intern, if you're looking to intern and you're going into your senior year, I would say look to be a file clerk at a law firm in your area. I would say you can look at even government things. You can look, I know people who have interned at the governor's mansion, or who have interned at the White House, and those are sometimes very steep. So even city council, anything that can just somehow finesse its way to being similar to law. Also, if you're, depending on what type of law you want to do, say you're interested in entertainment law, maybe you're working for an entertainment company. There are so many young undergraduates who also interned for HBO, and who were in production, or who were in post-production, or who were in creative aspects, and some of them were interested in law school, and some of them were also interested in doing entertainment law. So that's a really good way. There's so many different entertainment companies. So if you want to do environmental law, maybe working for an environmental office, it just truly depends on what type of law you want to do. But at the end of the day, just some type of experience it can really go a long way. Just if you want to be an assistant at a law firm or anything like that, it can really help just something to put on your resume, and also another person to give you a letter of recommendation. Okay. How much did my LSAT go up from my diagnostic to my final prep test? Okay, so I believe I talked about this in my series on how to prepare for the LSAT. My code diagnostic was the lowest score probably in history. I got a 140, and from then it went up from my so y'all can do the math if y'all want to. If you guys are so pressed to know how I did on the LSAT, because I know I never tell y'all numbers, but if you want to see how well I did on the LSAT, you can just add some stuff up. But my first score 140, and my second time taking the LSAT. From my first time taking my diagnostic, my code diagnostic, to my last time ever taking the LSAT again, it went up 18 points. So, yeah, that's how I did. So it went up. It's very possible. Understand that the code diagnostic is just an indication of how you can do without any preparation. It is very possible. I know people who have gotten a 140 as well, or a 142, and have went up into the 160s, which is stellar. It's so possible to do. It's all about the grind. And one thing I want to quickly tell you guys about the LSAT, because I'm not sure if I'll be filming any more LSAT videos because it's kind of far removed for me. But if you guys want to see any, I can. Just let me know below in the comments. But it's all about the review for the LSAT. So when you're doing those prep tests, you need to know why you got the answer right and why you got the answer wrong. Don't just say, okay, I got 15 answers right, so I'll leave those alone. Let me see why I got these ones wrong. No, you need to know why the answer was right, so that every time you get that type of question, you can get it right, and you need to know why the answer was wrong, so you never get it wrong again. That is one of the secrets to improving your LSAT score. So please do that if you're preparing for the LSAT now. Sorry, you guys, my camera stopped recording, but the question was whether I believe it's important to get involved during 1L year. I will tell you that it's completely optional to you. I know for me, I got involved because that's just my personality. I hate to be bored. I love to network. I love to connect with different people, and I feel like that really helps me do well. Also, different organizations will have outline banks where past members will put in their outlines that they have for classes that you could have taken, and that can really help you do well to have past outlines. So it's truly up to you. I would say use your discretion and see do you have the time to allocate to going to club meetings? Do you have the energy? Do you want to do that? But it's not a mandatory thing, and some people do even suggest that 1Ls don't get involved. I was told that 1L shouldn't get involved, and I completely disregarded that advice. Like I said, I'm very selective about who I get advice from, so I just did it anyway. So it's up to you. Do what works for you. But I did get involved. The next thing that I have, next question. Can JD MBA students still find time to work? So the way my program is set up is they want you to work full time. So the way it works is I have evening classes at the MBA, for my MBA. So it gives me time to work full time during the day. I am considering working full time, but I'm also considering dedicating full time to YouTube and just taking my YouTube seriously, and then just being a student at night. So it's really up in the air. I'll let you guys know what I decide, but I'm really interested in, this is really important to me, YouTube, and just content creating in general. And it's something that I really want to get back involved in, because it's something I've been doing since I was a kid, just creating content, whether it be writing, whether it be making choreography, or what have you. So I'm really looking to truly propel my YouTube channel and really just taking it more seriously. So I am looking at just doing a lot more things in the entertainment industry and with my YouTube, and then just going to my MBA program. But I'll let you guys know. There's a lot of things that are up in the air for me, so I really will keep you guys in a loop about what I decide. But yes, you can work, especially after your first year of law school. You set your schedule. You choose when you go to class. So if you want to take evening classes and work all day, you have that option. So it really is doable, and most people do it because they need money. So, yeah. What was the hardest thing about your first year? The whole thing was hard. It was new. I had no one in my family who went to law school. I was a first generation college student, a first generation law student. So I felt like there was a lot of aspects where I was at a disadvantage because I just didn't have the knowledge. A lot of people who had siblings or parents who went to law school, they knew the little secrets, the little intricacies that went with law school, like how to write a memo to make it an A memo, like just little simple things like how to do well on law school exams, things that I had to learn the hard way that I don't want you guys to have to learn the hard way. I want to make sure that you guys know these things, especially if you're in a situation like me where you're the first to go to law school. But I felt like a lot of times I was at a disadvantage, but I never let anything hold me back ever, because I know I can do whatever I put my mind to, and so can you guys. So yeah, it was a challenge, but I made it out alive and still standing, and I killed it. I killed the game. So it's doable. It was hard, but it's definitely doable. So you guys will do it and do better than I did, because y'all are my people and I'll make sure of it. So once again, if you have any personal questions, so many of you guys have reached out to me, and I have reach back to you guys and let you guys know whatever you guys want to know. So please do not ever feel like you can't reach out to me or hesitate, because I got you. I got you. So yeah. Best way to do briefs and do outlines. For me, I would, for outlining purposes, briefs, I don't do them. I'll talk about that in my other video. I'll go into it briefly here, but I'm not a briefer. The first month of law school, I spent so much time briefing cases, and it just was not the move. It really did not help me with exams at all. And like I said, the ultimate goal is to do well on your final. It's one grade. Your grade is dependent on one exam. So it's like, if it's not helping me, it's hurting me. And that's how I look at it. But for outlines, what I would always use for outlining purposes is my class notebook, like my class textbook. I would also use my class notes as well as a past outline, and from there I would just construct my outline. I will, because this is so detailed and this video has a lot of questions, I will have to make a separate video. So if you guys want to see that, like I said, comment below. But that's what I use for outlining. And for case briefing, it's important to know what the case is about. So there are two sites that I use. I'll put the links below. And one of the sites is casebriefs.com. Another site is Quimby. And those sites have canned case briefs about every well-known first-year case. So most of the students who I know who finally got hip and believed in working smarter and not harder, they would just simply read the cases and highlight in the book, and then they would look to see the breakdown of the case. What was the holding? What was the rule? What was, what you would typically do when you're case briefing? What was the issue? And so please use those sites, because they're very helpful for the sake of time. We do not have a lot of time as law students, but we have so much work to get done. So it's like you have to use your time to your advantage. And case briefing was a huge time sink for me. So yeah, no, it wasn't for me. But it might be for you. You got to do what works for you. Like I tell you guys, I'm not like the law school Bible by any means. I'm telling you guys what worked for me and what didn't work for me. So, yeah. What was my typical weekly schedule for studying and outlining? After I would do my reading, I would always just outline, or I would always just review my outline or review my class notes. Like I said, there are some students who would do all of their reading on the weekend, so they would use Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to get all of their reading for the week done, and then that way from Monday to Thursday or Monday to Friday they would have time to study, and they would have time to review their notes or what have you. Treat law school like a full-time job, and you will love the reward that you get, because the reward will be A's. Treat it like a full-time job and take it seriously that first year, and you will set yourself up for success. So I just want to put that out there. Even though that really had nothing to do with the question, I really want to let you guys know that. Okay, next question. I went over these. What was one thing I wish I did differently 1L year? I never do that, y'all. I think that in order for me to stay positive personally, I cannot ever try to say what could I have done differently, because that just depresses me, because you can never go back and do it differently. You just gotta rock with it. What I would have told my future self who was going into law school, maybe I would say I don't know, work harder. No, not possible. I worked harder than I've ever worked in my life. I guess I would say use your resources. There are so many people around you who have been where you are, so use your professors. Go to office hours every single chance that you can. There were some students in my class who I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're so overwhelming. Every time I go to office hours, it doesn't matter what professor it is, you're in there. But at the end of the day, I have no choice but to commend those people because they took advantage of the resource that was given to them, which is to use the professors to your advantage. Ask them questions after each class. If you're confused, go to office hours. If you're not confused and you're completely comfortable with the material, go to office hours because it can really help you do well. Office hours, the professors usually drop jewels and they will tell you things that they will not say in class. I've learned that from experience. So if your professor has office hours, which they typically have to, it's mandated by institutions, go. Even if you feel like you already know what y'all are talking about, just go because it can really, really help you. Way, way, way more than it can ever hurt you. Like, it's just an additional hour or 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. It is well worth it. So go to office hours. Next question. Okay, the next questions are like personal questions, so I'll get into that too because I do want you guys to know more about me personally. The first one is, when did I pledge? So for those of you guys who know or who don't know, I am in a sorority. I joined Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated my sophomore year of college, spring 2014, at Old Dominion University. The Kappa Gamma chapter. It has my heart still. I'm still so close with all of my sorority sisters. For those of you guys, I did vlog briefly me going to Virginia for homecoming. I've been to Virginia 3 times since I've been in law school. I went for our sorority had a probate. For those of you guys who are familiar with the NPHC or the Divine Nine, probates are when new members come out. So I went for homecoming. I went in December for my twin sister's graduation, and I went for our probate. I'll also be going back in November for homecoming again. I'm really, really connected to my sorority, and I just love them so much. So spring 2014, I was also president of my sorority, so it was just like, I just adored it. I still adore it forever. So yeah, I pledged in spring of 2014. The next one is about, for those of you guys, I don't know, this question still is catching me off guard because I feel like, I don't even feel like I divulge that much information on social media, but maybe I do more than I thought. But the first one, the question is, where did I meet Jeremy? For those of you guys who have seen like past Snapchats a while ago, I will post my friend Jeremy. Jeremy is, this is awkward. Jeremy is, I met Jeremy we could have honestly, we could go through a whole complete different video about me and relationships and guys. So if y'all want to see that, like how to get over breakups, how to be in healthy relationships, anything like that, this channel is truly blossoming. So nothing is off limits. Everything is going to be fair game. But Jeremy, for those of you guys who see, I've never come out and called him my boyfriend because he's not my boyfriend, but I guess we just have chemistry that will allow you to indicate that we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but we're not. Jeremy and I have been super close since my senior year of college. He lived in Virginia. He went to a neighboring college, and we met my senior year of college, and we just were super close ever since. And he just moved out here to Los Angeles this summer, so we have spent a lot of time together this summer, just hanging out and stuff. So yeah, I've known him for 2 years, and that's it about him for right now. He's not my significant other. We're just close. So, yeah. How did I balance my time in law school? What time? No, I really did set aside time for myself. Like, you guys seen my school would have like bar reviews, or did like turf clubs or what have you, like to just kind of like get out and get like in a social atmosphere. So I really did do that. So if I knew I wanted to do something on like a Friday night, I would stay up late on a Thursday night to make sure that all my work was done. Like, I would just really try to allocate time to have a social life and to have, to be able to have a good time sometimes, because it really is necessary for your mental health. Like, you have to set time aside for yourself. So even if sometimes you don't have the time, you just have to make the time, y'all, because if not, you will just become a slave to law school, and nobody has time for that. What helps keep me sane during law school? Honestly, you guys, positivity. In law school, people want to compare themselves to each other so much. I've had friends like trying to compare themselves to other members in our class or other people in different sections, and I would always just tell them, like, you steal your own joy the moment you start to compare yourselves to other people. Like, I would have friends who did so well academically, and then they're comparing themselves to someone who was #1 in the class. Like, why was he #1 and I wasn't? And I'm just like, now you just did so well your first year of law school, and you're mad about about not getting number one. Like, you're stealing your own joy and your own happiness because you're trying to compare yourself to another person. That is completely absurd to me, and it is just like self-sabotage. Like, I don't do it, I don't condone it, and I don't support it. So the moment I see somebody trying to compare themselves to someone else, I'm just like, you're tripping. Like, no. And the crazy thing is, like, I have a twin sister, so people have always compared us to one another, and it caused like a lot of issues for me as a kid. Like, I've always felt like my sister was like the prettier twin, but the thing is, people would tell us that, like, as a kid. She's not now. I'm definitely the prettier one now. Just kidding. But people would like truly compare us, and it just made me a complete it just really made me say, like, forgive my language, but F that. Don't ever compare me to anyone. Don't compare my success to anyone. Don't compare my accomplishments to anyone. Don't compare my struggle to anyone. I'm an individual, and I just do not do that. Like, I'm a different person. I go through different things than different people do. My success is my success. Her success is her success. His success is his success, and that's what it is, and that's how I stay happy. That's how I stay sane, and that's how I stay positive, and it has really helped me. And I posted a video about this on Instagram. Like, I focus on my own garden, and that's why I feel like I'm successful, is because I don't know what anybody else has going on. And if I do find out that they're doing something that's amazing, I congratulate them and I show love and I support them. But I will never go out of my way to be like, oh, what does homegirl got going on? Oh, she got this, she got that. Like, no, like, who cares? Like, that's not what, it's not helping me. It's hurting me. If it's not helping me, it's hurting me. That's just the way I look at things. Like, it's self-sabotage, and I don't rock with it. So please don't compare yourself, your success, your struggles, or anything to anybody. It's just not, it's not good, you guys. Okay. Speaking of twins, do twins run in my family? Yeah, I guess so. I have uncles who are twins. I don't know. I mean, it runs in my family. I have uncles who are twins, but I have distant cousins who are twins. But I just feel like me and my sister were like gifts from God. Like, I don't know. So it's not like very immediate, but there are distant relatives who are twins. How to budget money in law school. Girl, when I figure out, I'm just kidding. I really did nail it. This summer, I really figured out how to budget. So I can do a separate video on budgeting and just staying organized and just staying productive, because I have had to learn it myself. But for budgeting, really, like, depending on how you're paying for law school, in the beginning, you get a large sum of money, whether it be scholarship money or whether it be financial aid loans. And some people just wow out, but what they fail to realize is your first year of law school, it's highly suggested that you do not work, so you need that money to live off of. So what I did, like with all of my scholarship money, is I put all of my money for rent aside in my savings account. So I put a whole semester's worth of rent aside in my savings account, and then the rest, like a few extra hundred, just like for like cushion, and then the rest I put in my checkings account. And I would only use it for like Ubers if I didn't want to drive, which was every day. I would use it for Ubers, I would use it for food, and then like for going out purposes. But I wasn't like balling out of control. Like, it's just all about like using money for what you need it for. Like, spend within your means. Don't like live a lifestyle that you don't live. Don't use that money to go buy purses. Like, I know people who have used their money to go buy shoes, to go buy expensive purses, and that's just not a responsible way to spend, first of all, federal money, federal government money, or scholarship money. Like, that's just absurd. So you just really have to realize that this money is for you to live off of, and you have to treat it as so. But I can do a completely separate video on that, because it is a lot that goes into budgeting, and we're all kind of like new to it, and it did take me some time as well, so I don't mind doing a separate video about that. How much is rent for apartments in my area? I live in Los Angeles, near downtown, so rent is a pretty penny. I live alone, and I pay a pretty cheap amount comparatively. I pay $13.50 a month, and that is cheap here. Like, there are people who pay a lot, especially in the Los Angeles area. So if you go somewhere where the cost of living is a lot lower, good for you. I'm jealous and I'm hating, but it is expensive around here. I got lucky, but I feel like it's not really that lucky, because that's a lot of money to me, especially since like I'm a student. So I also don't have a roommate, so a lot of people can compensate. Like, if they have multiple roommates, I know some people who pay like $500 a month, and there's like 5 of them in like a house. Like, it's just up to you. Figure out what works for you. But roommates really do help people, but it just wasn't for me. Having a twin sister, it's just hard for me to kind of share a space with somebody else. Like, I can go off on my twin sister and we can be good like 5 minutes later because we're twins. But I can't do that with a stranger. Like, it'll be problematic and I don't have time. So, yeah. The last one is, why don't I drink or smoke? I could go on and on and on and on about this. For those of you guys who don't know, I've never drank alcohol before. I've never smoked a cigarette. I've never smoked marijuana. I've never smoked whatever else people smoke. And there are so many reasons behind it. But some of the main reasons are, every single person around me drinks and smokes. Like, there isn't one person that does not smokes, but a lot of people do smoke. But everyone around me drinks alcohol. Like I said, in Greek life, a lot of people, it's there for social purposes. Like, a lot of people drink. They just do. You guys know that. Y'all probably drink. But I have always been the person who made sure that everyone was good. My sorority, I was the president of my sorority. In my friend groups, I'm always like not the leader of my friend group, but I'm always just trying to make sure everybody's safe and everybody's good. So I've never wanted to put myself in that compromising situation, because somebody has to be saying, like, what, like, so I stay in control so that everyone around me can lose control. That's how I like to look at it. I stay cool so that they don't have to be cool, because they know that when I'm there, like, they'll be good. Like, there'll be no issues. Also, I've never liked the aspect or the fact that people don't know what they did the night before. Like, I've had friends or associates who are like, dang, I did that last night. Or they're like looking at videos of themselves wilding out, and I'm just like, dang sis, you don't remember doing that? And it just blows my mind that people can make these crazy, hasty, irrational decisions and not even know it. So when I'm acting a fool, you know that I'm doing it because this is how I'm feeling right now. It's no substance that's controlling me. This is because I'm going off on you because you made me mad. Like, I'm crying because I'm sad. There's no substance that has changed me or transformed my perception or anything like that. It's just how I'm feeling right now. And also, just because I am just a strong proponent in being a leader, I have always said that I never want to do something unless it's something that I genuinely want to do. So I've never had an interest in smoking. I've never had an interest in drinking. So I'm not going to do it just because everybody else is doing it. Like, and I've had people literally try to force alcohol down my throat because they're more uncomfortable with the fact that I'm not drinking than I am. And I'm just like, dang, sis, like, why are you so pressed? Like, I'm good. Like, it's fine. Like, I still make it to every single party. And for those of you guys, like the last one that I really, if you truly know me and you see me on Instagram and you see me like on Snapchat, you know that I'm the one who everybody already thinks is drunk, because I have a super flamboyant personality. I'm just super wild. I'm just super like out there. I've always just been a very extra type of person. So I've always found that people use alcohol to make themselves be like who I am already as a person. Not to sound cocky, but it's always been like people who are super calm and super chill, and then once they drink, they become fun like me. And I'm like, dang, I'm having a blast because we're all like lit and we're all like relaxed, and you guys are finally being fun like how I am always. So it's just weird. There's so many things, but I think that's the biggest part. Is just like, I'm always fun and having a good time in general, and people use alcohol to kind of like make them more social or make them more of an active, fun person. And I feel like I'm already like that. So the moment they start to drink, they can finally keep up and catch up with me, as opposed to me having to drink to be a different person than I already am, who I like love. Like, I love my personality. I love being out there. I love being like fun. I love to be childish. Like, it's just who I am. So I love when people drink and they can be fun with me. I don't encourage like alcoholism or anything like that, but I'm not against it. I don't judge anybody who drinks alcohol, and if that's what you want to do, I support it. I just support people doing what they want to do. What I don't like is people who drink alcohol to try to fit in, because it's not necessary. I've always, like, I set the standard. Like, I don't have to fit in with anybody. Like, don't feel like you have to do something because everybody else is doing it, because you don't. Like, you can still live a happy, fulfilling life without being a sheep and following what everybody else is doing. So if you want to drink, drink, because why not? If you don't want to drink, don't drink, because you don't have to. So yeah, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I don't plan on it because it's just not me. It's not what I want to do. It's not what I'm interested in. And that was the last question. So yay, this video is going to be so long, but it's so long overdue, and there's so much content in it. So please share this video, like it, subscribe it, like it, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I love you guys so much. If there's anything you guys want to see on my channel that I haven't mentioned that I'm interested in filming, please put it below, because I will film it. Because like I told you guys, I'm taking YouTube a lot more seriously. I've been looking at new equipment, looking at like new cameras, new lighting, and everything, a new vlogging camera. Like, I'm truly trying to propel this channel for you guys because I feel like I have so much to share, and it's really helped me connect with so many of you guys. So I'm really interested in just taking this so much more seriously. So anything you want to see, comment below. Follow me on social media right below. And I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching.
That's what the real ones tell you. Hey, oh, sweet talking you on the balcony. See, we ain't speak in some weeks. I need some clarity. So we truly done. See, I ain't begging, you know it's fine with me.